from the year 1950 in the Calgary, Albertan. Bowling in Calgary goes back to 1896. Today, five-pin bowling attracts upwards of 5,000 individual bowlers to Calgary alleys as the indoor winter sport enjoys one of the greatest booms in history. The situation is a deserved climax for a sport that has held sway in the city for 54 years. Alley bowling in Calgary dates back to about 1896 when Dick Broderick and Roxy Hamilton installed the first alley in a building on 8th Avenue near Center Street. It is said that Max Aiken, later Lord Beaverbrook, the famous British newspaper publisher, later had an interest in this plant. He also ran a cigar store near the alley premises. In 1903, Charlie Tronweiser put alleys in a building at 122 8th Avenue West. Later, he moved them to the present Binning Building. The City Bowling Alley was the next addition, and later the Royal Alleys were laid. Barney Schramm, Archie McFadden, and Bill Kane operated these. The Exchange Alleys, located where Rosie Helmer's and Lauren Carr's billiard parlor now operates, was one of the popular centers in Calgary for many years. The genial owner, Bob Boyle, had a great sense of humor. When the inspector of billiard rooms and bowling alleys started prosecutions against patrons who used profane language in the rooms, Bob had cards printed which read, "Don't swear, say gee whiz." In 1917, the late A.N. Tony McKinley came into the picture and purchased and re-equipped a plant which was located in the present Woolworth store and christened it the Woodbine. Friends said he was crazy to go so far west. About 1922, a bid was made for bowling business from the fair sex. Ladies were somewhat handicapped at that time by considerably longer skirts, which rather seriously hindered the stride. In fact, very dignified ladies thought it more proper to stand still when delivering the ball. The situation didn't last long, however, as the short-skirted flapper era arrived. The alleys were making fine progress with the ladies when someone wrote a letter to the paper and questioned the propriety of women frequenting bowling alleys. The controversy grew to such proportions that the paper put the ban on the letter writers, who mostly upheld the new venture and gave its editorial blessing to bowling for women and the Woodbine and Exchange alleys where ladies were wont to go. The next bowling alley was the Windsor. When Charlie and Bill Gibson of Winnipeg installed their first big plant in Calgary in 1927, they brought with them a wealth of experience in the business. They knew how to cater to the needs of all classes and how to develop bowlers by the hundreds. Tenpins was the popular game in the early days. Then Canadian or straight fives became popular for many years. Harry Young, who bought the Woodbine alleys from Tony McKinley in 1925, was perhaps the best straight five-pin bowler who ever played the game. The Gibsons popularized the American five-pins game, and there was less reason for cussing on Calgary alleys. Going into the ditch was not so disastrous as in the earlier game, where ditching one ball meant a goose egg in the frame. It is still the popular game in the city, which in recent years has seen the rise of Calgary Five-Pin Bowling Association with its annual week-long tournaments and alleys opening up in all parts of the city.